Welcome to the party. And welcome to the party. Cat's now meowing, wants to come out. Thank you for joining today. It's me and Gray in today's Global Harmonization. I was going to talk a little bit about accomplishment. I had before we get into the bowls here and get into the meditation, I have my father here, and we got into a conversation last night, and it was really interesting. It was all around this idea of accomplishment. So the era that I was raised in and grew up in, time, the value of my time is always tied to how much productivity or how much I accomplished in that time. It's a really interesting perspective to have, because it makes any individual, like when I believe this, it made me just like a machine, like a factory-built machine to get done as much as I could possibly get done in the shortest amount of time was always the goal. And then once I got to a certain amount in a certain amount of time, that was the time for the pat on the back or the pat on the head saying, good job. And that transitioned really well into a world where there's a workforce, right? I learned how to listen to authority. I learned how to manage my time. I learned how to be very productive. I learned how to navigate those ranks. And it afforded a lot of great things in that period. And would you just open that door so the cat can come out? Thank you. I got some guests. No, next one. Just open the crack. If you can come in. Okay. Otherwise, we have meowing the whole time, which is also beautiful. So this whole idea of accomplishment was an amazing motivator and an amazing way to achieve many things. The thing is, life began chasing more accomplishment, because if I accomplished less than I did previously, maybe I had an off day, but it happened a couple times, that was something to really sit with. If I didn't use my time productively, I had so many judgments around me. I'm sharing this with my father, and at first, conversation was around this productivity, and he's like, yeah, that's exactly what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. Like, you got to get as much done in the time you got. Like, you only have so much time. And now in the new era of consciousness, it's become very obvious that we don't have time at all. It's arguable to even say time truly exists. It becomes a construct. It's a tool that allows us to navigate life. It's a tool that allows me to navigate life. Just like any other tool. Like any other tool, it can become obsoleted or outdated, right? Or completely no need for it anymore. And productivity element of it has really taken a shift, because from what I've experienced, at least growing up, was until now, and I'm still growing up, I think, is this idea of how, for my generation, it was very much, or people that were around me, my sphere, my paradigm, my perspective, was always how much can you accomplish? And that was a measure of how important of an individual you were. It also got attached to an ego and an identity and solidified with that. Like, I've always got to be going, I've got to be doing. Even in Texas, when I lived in Texas, it was better to be busy than bored, because if I was bored, then I might actually start looking at what was going on inside of me, right? And all these accomplishments were in this outer world, this outer sphere. So I had to be able to measure it. My friends, there had to be proof. There had to be, unbiased proof to prove that it was real. Really accomplished all these things. And it was an amazing experience. I grew so much as a result of it. And what happened was it seemed like the pendulum almost swung the opposite way. Because the millennials, for example, they have a reputation for feeling entitled. So you come from a generation prior, which is this generation of like, well, Gen Xers were for a bit an interesting bunch, but Gen Xers definitely had this program installed. It's really from the prior generation, many of them, where it came out of the Great Depression, right? We had to be really productive. We had very scarcity mode. And the millennials got this reputation for not wanting to do anything, being just entitled and everything can receive. They can just receive everything. And I think for the people that came prior to the millennials, that was a very difficult pill to swallow if that was true, is we all worked really hard to get where we were at. We all did a lot to accomplish things, really pressed forward. The thing is, something got lost, I think, with this idea is that the accomplishment is really, what are we really attempting to accomplish? It's not necessarily putting a number on a board to say this is what my sales are, or this is how many people I slept with, or this is the kind of car I have, or this is how big my house is, or how big my family is, and all these things that people use to measure their self-worth. The transition started to change in the last 5-10 years in my experience of consciousness about doing the inner work. How much do I rid myself of these beliefs that I need to be doing something at all times? All these beliefs that are disempowering, where it seems like I have to, like you hear the words, I need to, I have to, I must, I should, instead of that I choose. And where I choose from is a totally different place when I'm choosing from my inner power than when I'm choosing to conform to society's standards of success or accomplishment. And everybody, I think pretty much everybody that drops on here in global harmonization, like this is, again, as usual, everything I'm dropping out, stuff like, I think you all know. You've all probably talked about this. So let it serve as a reminder if you already heard this. If you haven't and you're curious, drop in the comments a question about it. Because once transcending this need to accomplish comes and beingness actually comes into effect, the way the world seems to operate goes from the world happening to me in this crazy single nightmare where I'm just pushing me against the world. Right? Something that was said in pop culture, movies and songs. It was always talked about me against the world. And now it's me as the world. Now it's me looking at myself and seeing how changing in here actually changes everything about this experience. It becomes living the dream, literally living in the dream state and watching everything happening. And using my free will to discern and make choices to guide me through my path, using who I'm being as things happen around me as the gauge versus how do I handle everything? How do I control everything? How do I make these things happen? It's like all of a sudden it's like, wait, hold up, let me breathe here. Let me be one with the breath. Let me just watch what happens if I do nothing and watch how the magic pursues. And then I'll find myself doing things. Just like the birds find themselves flying from tree to tree. They're not like worried about what's going to happen 3 years from now. They're just going. They're just going with the flow of the divine, the universe, that source. And that's what this harmonization is about, is getting in flow with nature, with God, with yourself, with your true identity. And the bowls, like any meditation practice, but the bowls allow it to become a little bit more passive, I think, because you could just lie back and just concentrate on the bowls. So that's why I'm bringing the sound into here, because it's really clearing up the static, so the channel gets much clearer, and all those programs are brought to awareness so they can be cleansed, and the new stuff gets downloaded through the sound. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for being in this consciousness, because this is where it's at. I mean, by comparison, I'm sure there's more. We're all joining this journey together to experience more of it. But it's here now. Heaven on earth is here right now. So, that being said, I invite you to get into a meditative state. And if you'd like to, those of you online, please, by all means, drop in any intentions you would like to be served. And this could be for you, it could be for someone else, so it could be healing this coronavirus, right? We could put an intention into this medicine, these bowls, this sound that comes through around something on a global scale, or it could be your stubbed toe, or it could be you have a financial issue, or it could be you like improvements in your relationship, whatever it is in your area. If there's a change that you would like to see happen in your life, in your awareness, drop it in intention. It becomes stronger if you write it. So I invite you to put it in the comments, and it will flow into this energy, and there will be clearing created as a result of it. And I know it sounds so super woo-woo. It sounds like BS. It really does, but it's just how it works. It's just amazing. So hop into that meditative position. Just start rolling your shoulders. And if you feel comfortable lying down or sitting down or doing it on your head, whatever is best for you, I'm going to tell you what I do or show you what I do. Really, your comfort is key, because if you're uncomfortable, no meditation is going to work until you're really good at meditation. And then you can take away the discomfort. So if you want to put that challenge on, go ahead. Roll those shoulders, just opening up the channel to make sure the shoulders drop down. We have this tendency to hold our shoulders up. It seems like we, as a collective, at least that's what I'm told by every practitioner that works on me. So just open those up. I begin breathing. I breathe through my nose into my belly, then my chest, and I hold at the top. So just holding for a moment and looking at everything internally. Just kind of doing a scan of my emotions. Where are my emotions? Where's my mind at? Where's my physical body? And exhaling out. Next inhale, breathe into any area I'd like to create some movement. At the top of the next exhale, inhale, just roll the neck a little bit, each direction, just opening up the spine. Coming back to center, exhaling and bringing the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Breathe at your own pace. Lowering the head. Just one vertebrae at a time going down. Notice if there's anywhere that seems to jump. Breathe into that area. All the way down, and then at the bottom, imagine a zipper at the base of your spine that's tied to a string, and somebody's just going to pull it straight up. So you come up slowly, one vertebrae at a time, inhaling straight to the ceiling. Coming to the top, drop the shoulders back and down, and pull that zipper up into the sky. And notice how it straightens the head, the neck, all the vertebrae expand from each other. Exhaling. Begin to honor the silence before we bring the sound in. Taking 3 breaths at your own pace, inhaling. Beginning to breathe into the heart chakra. And holding the attention as the breath comes through the nostrils, down the esophagus, into the lungs, and into the heart. And notice the blooming of your heart chakra. Just dropping into the silence of this vibration. Dropping into the calm within. Beginning to move the attention point from the heart up into the throat chakra, giving voice to the spirit. Invoking the heart to bring forth the spirit and give it life through the voice. each breath, give it an essence that matches the vibration in your heart, knowing that somebody will be breathing this breath. It may even be you. With a vibration of love, giving, freedom, gratitude, power. Alchemize each breath with your heart and give each exhale as a gift unto the world. Notice the vibration building within as the light penetrates each cell of the body. As this light erupts beyond the body, vibration continues to increase. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of the heart. Press them together. Breathing in. Notice the expansion within. Exhaling. Inhaling again. Embodying this vibration, pure light within. Releasing. Breathing again in the light. Remembering all light, all love stems from this vibration, that I am one with this vibration, pure light, pure truth. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the light. Lowering the hands down. When you're ready, opening your eyes. Thank you so much for joining today. In Harmonize, God bless you. An amazing, amazing, amazing Sunday. And thank you, thank you, thank you.